What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Show back with another video, and today we're talking about Returnal. So I've heard a little bit about this game. Like, I haven't really been following it too heavy. I actually have it, and I played it a little bit, and that's when I kind of realized what it was supposed to be about. To my knowledge, it's supposed to be basically like the older games where you couldn't really save or anything. You just kind of have to defeat everything in one go. And honestly, a lot of people may not like that, but I actually really do think that's an interesting way to the interesting direction to take the game. Just in general, we definitely like to have games that have like different things that set them apart from games in general. Like there's some things that you may see in the game that you just feel like, oh, that's really interesting. Matter of fact, I might play this game. Oh, I specifically know this game because of the way the game plays. You play a Dark Souls game, and every game that comes out that's similar to Dark Souls is always called like a Souls-like game or something like that, or something like Dark Souls. They'll just basically call it like anime Dark Souls, or just basically anything like that. And that's because the Dark Souls franchise has pretty much cornered that market on that very hard, addicting type of gameplay. But today we're not necessarily talking about the game. We're talking about the save issue. So there's been a lot of backlash on the game. And let me tell you this. Now, this is actually a older story. It took me a minute to get around to it. I really wanted to figure out what people were talking about, and I kind of understood what people were talking about, if you know what I mean. But basically, there's an issue where, because the game does not let you save or checkpoint, and basically when you turn off the game, you have to start all the way over. If basically, like, if you fail, you have to start all the way over. If you close the game, you have to start all the way over. So what people would do is they would put their PS5 in rest mode or whatever, and then basically when they start it up, they'll be playing again. Basically a way to pause it without pausing it. But PS5 likes to do this little thing called auto update. Now, when they auto update, they close the game, or they close whatever software you got going. And yeah, they pretty much updated the game, and it's horrible because people have to start all the way over. They can't really use that way to create a checkpoint or a save. And obviously, why I do feel as though it's not necessarily something that they planned on, it's kind of a credit to the game. They really want you to be able to just sit there and kind of just run through everything. But the PS5 has its own, it has its own little features. Save rest mode is basically like a way to just checkpoint in games. Like if you come at a part where it's necessarily you can't really get that save in, but you can literally just kind of flash freeze the game. And going back to Returnal just feels like a PS5 game. It really does, but obviously they're trying to go with the old retro vibe, no save, no checkpoint. I don't actually know whether they plan on update. I heard it was actually supposed to update it, and it might be actually fixed now. I'm not sure, because I said this is actually not a newer issue. This is something I really want to talk about because you got to think about stuff like that. I feel like that was kind of an oversight on their part. And granted, I think the actual work on the game was great. It looks like a really nice next gen PS5 game, but you got to realize that people's systems might auto update. I'm pretty sure that even though you decided to actually not allow for checkpoints or save points or whatever, you knew that people were going to be putting it on rest mode, and maybe they actually planned it that way. Maybe if they planned it that way where, they know people's systems are going to auto-update and it's going to knock them out whatever, they had their PS5 on at the moment. But all in all, you kind of have to plan for that. If you don't really mean that, I understand, but a game goes through a certain cycle of development period. We don't really want another Cyberpunk, so I'm definitely one of them people that just kind of like, you can wait if you need to wait to get all the kinks and stuff worked out. Now, here's the thing I want to know, though. When they actually update the game, are they going to basically make it so you can do checkpoints now? That would actually be a very big reverse on their initial thoughts about how the game should be played. And it'd be kind of interesting because we can't really say, hey, don't put the thing in rest mode. I've seen it actually being said, like, don't put it in rest mode. But, I mean, come on, people. Like, I understand it's sort of a cheap way to do it if they want you to specifically do the game in one go. But sometimes people have things they got to do, and they don't want to really kill their whole run. I mean, obviously, we have newer technologies. Back then, you really couldn't do stuff like that. You couldn't save whenever you want to save, or if you had like something like GameCube where you can basically play the game, but you couldn't really save. You didn't have no memory card. Sometimes we're really past that kind of era, and I get it. You want to bring some of that nostalgia back into the gaming industry, and I love that. I love when you have something unique that you like to do. But let's try to at least checkpoint it where you know, if you go into rest mode, it'll automatically checkpoint itself. That'll be something interesting rather than actually allowing regular checkpoints throughout the game. With that being said, let me know your thoughts on Returnal. I'm definitely gonna get into it a little bit more, maybe do some gameplay, trying to see if I can run through it all. And I'll see you guys next video.